Real opulence perhaps could be something which feels interesting, feels nice, feels beautiful, timed at that point. But if we look at it decades later,
Yeah.
it still holds space and time.
Yes. My sensibility is, I am not necessarily a minimalistic person. I'm not. I like a little bit of OTT, but I think this is all about design, sensibilities, and how you do it. You know what I mean? OTT is not a bad word.
I think luxury for us as architects starts with the architecture itself.
Sure.
The space you create, which can take that kind of material, which is luxurious by way of the materiality and the correct selection of material. So the architecture what we create is also extremely important, in terms of height and width and the scale.
I'm Kalyani Saha Chawla, founder of Raison Luxury Silverware.
Hi, I'm Monika Choudhary. I'm the founder and growth strategist for Habitat Architects.
Hi everyone, my name is Rahul Bansal. I represent Group DCA Architects.
Luxury today isn't about labels and logos. It's about what lasts. Welcome to Inside View by Lifestyle Asia India and Architecture+Design. What does luxury really mean? Luxury that lasts. We talk about luxury in terms of material things, enough of that you all use, and so do I in my field of work. But what really is long-term, luxury that really lasts with us? Monika, what's your take on that?
For me, I feel luxury is something which has been going back and forth with a lot of meanings, but I do believe that it is something which is there to age gracefully, not just to impress. It could be an aspect of any kind of design in architecture or interior where we are intentionally trying to put something which is elegant, which is beautiful, but not just for the matter of being there for today or just tomorrow. It is for the family or the generation or the places that we build. It should be there for long.
The longevity of a design or
Is something what I do feel is quite important to look at it as luxury. A lot of materials that one use in terms of materiality, and we call it luxurious, like you use silver, which is supposed to be luxurious, yes, but why luxurious? I feel because it lasts. It is
Very
there
true.
for a longer period of time. It kind of grows with the family, turns into an heirloom tomorrow. So for us, every aspect of design, if Rahul and me have to look at a space,
Sure.
we don't look at the space for just the moment. We
No,
look
it's
at
a
it.
long-term perspective.
And if that is considered, I feel a good
I
part
totally
of
agree.
luxury is that
Absolutely.
for us.
Rahul?
I've also felt that when we are designing, there is something what we design is like the basics, the regular design, which is like bare minimum. And I think for me, best explained is that luxury is that little extra what we do to it. That can be controlled, like 15, 20%, 30% can be controlled by us as architects in the form of materials, how we use the materials, and the materials are long lasting, so that appeal is there for a longer period of time. And so for me that balance is very important.
Yeah.
Where you stop luxury and it stops at, doesn't become extravagant, where then there is no limit. You can go till wherever you want, and it stops having a long-term lasting appeal. So for me that's luxury.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Monika, I deal in silver.
Silver.
So silver is kind of a forever material. Actually, it ages really well.
Yeah.
As you're a collector,
Yes.
Rahul, and I like it when it is old and a bit tarnished. And it's true, Monika, what you said about longevity in material. So I deal with silver, and silver's kind of has this whole forever quality to it. And I like it. The fact that it tarnishes, because when clients are saying, will this tarnish? I said, if it doesn't tarnish, you have a bigger problem. It's not silver. And you have that option, which I love, that you can have it shiny and polished whenever you want it. And I think that, that for me is luxury. One is knowing also the material, whether it's tarnished or not tarnished, or, the longevity of that particular, and also, you know, with my the material, of course, but also the designs, because like Art Deco, Rahul, you and I were talking earlier. I mean, this is you know, Art Deco, which I'm sure you use a lot of, Monika, as well, or a neoclassical, or what. These are, I think, design aspects which continue over generations, you know, like exactly. So like my daughter, who's 25, I mean, she is really into this Art Deco design now. And then you're talking about all the Maharajas, you know, the Maharaja of Indore, he was such a Art Deco collector, you know, his whole palace was Art Deco. So I think there are timeless, like design-wise, and I think it has to resonate with you.
Yes.
You know, we live in a city like Delhi where everything is OTT, and that word OTT, my sensibilities, you know, I am not necessarily a minimalistic person. I'm not. I like a little bit of OTT, but I think this is all about design sensibilities and how you do it. You know what I mean? OTT is not a bad word. It's not a bad word.
OTT does not always just means overdoing it.
Yes.
It's an intentional drama.
It is
Little
intentional
bit is
drama.
okay, no?
I
Little
like
bit is
that,
interesting.
intentional
Absolutely,
drama.
absolutely.
And
Yes.
if it is not intentional, then
Yes.
what are we trying to do?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it reflects the end users,
Exactly.
you know. So for me, in the luxury segment, the kind of projects I practice are in 3 categories. One category is the global luxury brands which come into the country, and I've pretty much worked with almost all of them. And the other category is the luxury segment within the country as far as jewelers are concerned. So a whole lot of clientele, which is the top end jewelry clientele across the country, I've been working for them. And the third category is luxury residential projects. So what I've learned over the years is that little bit of OTT going little over the top is definitely welcome, and it looks nice and gives it little that extra edge, you know, which the client expects from us, and we should be able to do it. In doing so, we have to be careful, and I'm very careful in selecting the materials and the vocabulary of the design itself. That should be authentic, and the materials for me should be natural, you know, not artificial or plasticky materials, because then that really, you know, has a long-term appeal and it ages well. If you use natural materials, not only it'll age well, it'll last longer. So the materials which, like for example, marble, there's no comparison between marble and a tile. Tile is tile. It's first of all artificial, man-made. Marble is natural, and it lasts much longer. And it looks.
And also luxury. That's the space
luxury, of
you're
course.
in, yeah.
Yeah. So two materials which come to my mind in my project, which really I love using a lot, is marble and wood. Again, wood, we have the more artificial version of wood is laminate and maybe even veneer. Okay, but it's natural. But a combination of both these materials, if I use in my projects, I always find it lasts almost forever. Yeah.
I mean, taking a cue from what you are saying, Rahul, yes, we sit in a similar cross-section of design, and the kind of clientele we work with, yes, marble and timber are definitely 2 materials which are an ever favorite for whole lot of us. They also age beautifully. They age with time. They do not make you feel very shallow by the end of it. We are not changing things a lot. And then comes your materiality, where you come in, which adds on a little bit of OTT, little bit of interesting materiality, which makes the space lived in, a story to tell, a memoir for the family who's putting it together. So if I were to create a space which was tight or perhaps not thought over in terms of its spatial intelligence, it might not respond as beautifully 20 years later. So if we go back to Lutyens and come back to, that's the best part of architecture from that time. You walk into it and you walk into it ageless. We do luxury residences. We also do hospitality. So yeah, OTT is interesting, but that OTT part needs to be little restrained, is how we look at it. And I think that's the restraint which makes the
it graceful, right?
Yeah,
it
makes or breaks the look by the end of it.
Like, I mean, silver itself is such a luxurious material.
It's been there since forever.
Right? I mean, traditionally so. And but I add a lot of semi-precious stones. So that's my little addition of OTT. But it looks that much richer and makes that product, whether it has a rose quartz handle or a little jade bird on a water jug, it just adds that beauty, not just the aesthetic beauty, but that luxurious, long-lasting, it's semi-precious stones, it's not artificial. So it just, I think, OTT is, I think, all about also aesthetics in a way, and how you do it, in a graceful, elegant manner. And you can add, like you have marble and wood, I use semi-precious stones with silver.
Correct.
Also, technology has taken over most parts. I mean, it is about the future. And I think just the availability of these materials, international brands coming in and making themselves, available at the doorstep, that where clients can go,
You can
touch and feel.
confidently, you can
don't have
confidently
to-
prescribe it.
you can actually touch and feel these things.
And I love
think
the
this
way
is so,
our own country has also grown into adapt. We have so many homegrown brands which we never had earlier, which could
Exactly.
perhaps,
I mean, almost all the verticals of the materials today, India
Are
has got
available
all
here.
the materials available.
Yes.
I think
depending on
another,
what cross-section you are working with.
in my opinion, another important aspect when you talked about technology is lighting. And I think lighting plays a huge role in, I think I'm sure you would agree,
Absolutely.
that lighting plays a huge role to bring out the materials which we use. So today, with technology, the kind of lighting, the kind of lux we can create, the mood changing and all that,
that
that's
is
also
one
a
of the
huge...
prime factors of interiors by the end of it. And that's why so much of, resources are spent just on lighting.
Correct.
You know what I mean? The facade to the
Technology
garden.
is taken
but
over there.
Interiors,
Yes.
it's all technology. But even in my business, the candle stand, because you want to light candles and create a certain ambiance.
Ambience around
Everything
it.
has a dimmer, so you don't want bright lights, in the
Imagine if
evening.
there's got too much light, it'll never look good.
It's magic, and what lighting can do. It's a very, very important aspect of interiors and creating that ambience of luxury and...
So when we speak about technology or lighting in technology or all the other aspects, we very laughingly speak in our office that for us, technology is a very quiet concierge in the end, which does its functional job.
Yeah.
But I think we work with technology to serve architecture, not the other way around.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing. Technology, I totally echo what you're saying. Technology for us in our practice is actually the method of doing the things, right? For example, if you have to lay flooring, today the technology is available that the marble will not break because the technology, the materiality, the sequence of events, the process of doing the thing, the technology is in that. The materials remain the same, basic, simple, humble materials. Nothing much is happening there. It's a technology. Look at the glazings which are around us. The technology is in the hardware.
Sure.
To be able to take the load of this glass, the technology or the tech has gone, the engineering has gone into the hardware. Without that this doesn't exist.
So effortless.
Effortless.
But you can so much work behind it to reach where it is.
India's shining right now, whether it's with fashion, the Kolhapuri, which is on the Prada runway,
Sure.
or the fact that we have been a source of inspiration for so many years. I've been in fashion all my life, and whether it's John Galliano and that whole Mehndi couture thing that he did, and which just, we've been a land of sourcing for so long and of inspiration. But today, now with the ecosystem that is being built, everyone wants to be part of what's happening in India and part of, India and the diaspora. But I think this is also a time where local craft, local brands, homegrown brands are coming into the foray, and I think y'all are really encouraging that, by using local material, which I want to hear about. And in my space, the fashion space as such, I just feel that it's just so wonderful to see the Made in India label being acknowledged.
Yes.
Because all this time it was just sourcing. Like in fashion, for example, today, they're acknowledging the fact that Dior has used these beautiful panels embroidered by the Chanakya school, for example. So Maria Grazia, thanks to her, we really, were acknowledged, and then there were certain products which were completely made in India, which had the Made in India label, and I think this is a great time for India. And it's a great time no matter what is available. And of course, we have the technology, we have the availability of these wonderful brands internationally. But what is happening in India, even we were talking about marble, we were talking about wood, the kind of finishing that is coming in, the kind of availability that y'all are making the products and produce out of, which is available in our country, is, I think, amazing.
I think in architecture, if I may speak on both of our behalf, and he can take it from here, made in India was never a question, because we are building in India and it is not a product we are building a lifestyle. So even if we are looking at marbles sourced all over the world, still a very large amount of marble would still come from Kishangarh.
Yes.
If we are looking at glass, it will still have pieces which will come from perhaps Firozabad.
Yeah.
Our artisans would come from all over. If we are doing some patina looks, you have it all over from Orissa.
Like beaten copper,
Beaten copper,
metal.
for that
yes.
matter. These are things. So I feel, especially in our line of design in architecture, we were always about made in India. We learned a lot from when things came from across the globe.
Yeah.
And it really helped our artisans and people to upgrade themselves in technology.
Yes.
So we do appreciate what we get globally, but we necessarily use a lot what we get here.
Yeah, so
It's such a given thing for us, isn't
like,
it, Rahul?
it's a fusion of two things. This local craft was always there, but how we use it and the technology which has gone into application of that craft is a fantastic fusion which is happening.
I'll tell you a very interesting project we are talking about here in terms of very homegrown. So while we were doing a project back in Punjab, it is an hospitality project. And what do we do to build a place? We use bricks. There are brick kilns that we use, normal bricks that we use in various kinds. We realized while we were doing it that we wanted to get back the old vernacular way of making bricks. So we started the concept with Nanak Shahi bricks. Now that was a concept which was over long time back. We hardly had any kilns left in Punjab.
The thin ones, the small
The thin ones, yeah. So the brick kiln and those Nanak Shahi brick kilns were literally revived and bought.
Correct.
I remember to start with, we had to go village to village with our client because there were some old dilapidated structures, which the guy was very gracious to go literally buy.
Wow.
We bought them, built them new and put them here. And by over these last decade, a lot of people started, the old kiln masters came back, they started doing it. And we did realize that the whole ambience and the look and the feel of the project kind of became an age which we wanted to represent.
And that represented the project itself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look at terrazzo.
Oh, look at terrazzo. Absolutely.
It was history. Nobody wanted it. I mean, like, let's say 10 years ago, you'd ask a client to put terrazzo flooring. You would say, sorry, boss, this was in my house.
Yeah, my grandmother.
I don't want to see it again. Today, clients
Indian
want it.
terrazzo is fashionable today.
Yes,
And terrazzo is from India, look, and it's become so fashionable and it's so fantastic. Suddenly, all of a sudden, everybody knows about it. So, this thing is coming back.
Also, design is also trend oriented.
Sure.
I just feel, because it is a cycle that happens over the years, something that was, again, comes back and is right now, so it is, I mean, in everything that we do, you have to follow a certain trend, unless you're very specific, and I'm sure your clients have very specific ideas for what they do, but they respect your...
Clients are extremely malleable today.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are very
open to
very
ideas.
Much. They are open
They want
to
ideas.
Yes, they want
looking
ideas.
for options.
I
and
agree.
different.
And they're all looking at building a little bit of going back to their basic kind of situation. Everybody asks for it today.
The younger generation today,
this was my next point,
is actually, you're all talking about our children, and you're very lucky you have your kids coming back and joining y'all. They have a different mindset altogether. But as technologically oriented they may be, I find the appreciation of tradition and what is, I think, some things that they've grown up with or which will create some sort of nostalgia is very much present in the younger generation, which always surprises me.
See, younger generation, perhaps, I mean, now that you bring this up, it's very interesting. My son would not have seen terrazzo.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what terrazzo is. So for him, terrazzo is extremely interesting as a material, because in their generation, they didn't see it. So that also kind of probably helps to bring it back into limelight, where they're able to use it in the right way and revive these older materials. Another example which comes to my mind is chandeliers. In many of our projects today, we are using chandeliers which are custom made in India. Not the branded chandeliers which are available where you just go to a catalog or something and you buy it. That
I
of course is
love
happening.
light installations.
Yeah, so
made
and you're
out of
making in
Indian
India and
You know where to
Fantastic.
come to for unique chandeliers, raison.
and then like for you, for example, you'd say, give me any design.
Yeah.
And as complicated as
Adapt.
possible.
One
And
can
put more
adapt.
materials into it. And we're able to do it here.
Yeah.
Obviously, some craftsmen in some cities doing it.
Yeah.
Blowing glass and creating
very
shapes out of
much.
it and
Very
colors.
much.
It's
We are the
amazing.
biggest jugarus, we Indians, because everything is also available in India. So it's easy once you're in the business to put things together. I think it's fascinating. You can't do that in anywhere else in the world.
Right.
To really close this particular conversation, I do feel that we as designers also have a responsibility to use this panel to say that what we need to do in our education base, where the colleges
yes.
are studying and teaching younger generation, we should be teaching more art appreciation
Yes.
and understanding of craft.
So true.
I absolutely
Because
agree
as we
with
just
you.
spoke about our younger generations, for them certain things they do not even know. In case they had that art appreciation education, it would come out more often, more outside, more there. I mean,
So true. I agree.
totally.
And
if we could.
these times are so interesting. This is the right time to propel it, through education.
So we're going to do a fun round of this or that.
Interesting.
Okay, so you just talk about lighting. So vintage chandelier or modern LED art installation? Monika?
For me, I love the modern LED art installations which are coming across.
Yeah.
And if I can create a fusion
Yes.
with a vintage chandelier and have an ambience with the LED around, it'll be a total win for me.
Rahul?
So I would actually go for the vintage chandelier.
Yes, I thought so.
Smart home automation or manual intuitive controls?
Oof. Gizmos and me. I mean, I went to a friend's house and I wanted to put the AC off and I don't know what I pressed. Everything was off. The lights, the AC, everything was off. So I think I'm old school. I like to put my switches on manual, put it off when you're leaving the room. I'm old school, but I love the technological situation though.
Monika?
Yeah.
We use a lot of technology. As I normally say that technology for us is a very quiet concierge. Having said that, if you get more and deeply going into how technology runs today, intuitive manual control is a part of the tech world.
Correct.
Sure.
Every house is actually now equipped to feel personal.
Also, it doesn't need to be black and white. No? It can be
It's too
both,
much.
a little
Can
bit
be
of both.
both.
Yeah.
And I think the automation across the globe and India has made it in a way that I can make my house
Correct.
sound or smell or see or feel the way I want through automation.
On to you.
Okay, interesting. Gold-plated accents or sleek stainless steel? I'm so glad I'm not asked. I'm questioning this. Please go ahead.
Oh,
Gold-plated accents or sleek stainless steel?
I love gold-plated accent.
Me too. I'm doing a lot of gold plating on my silver now. So that combination of silver and gold, I think, is beautiful.
See, gold in itself, there can be so many colors of gold, like rose gold, light
Exactly.
gold, champagne gold. Yeah.
It's also luxury, it's luxury.
We use a lot of sleek stainless steel. We definitely use gold, but our gold is way more contemporary
Accents,
in its
maybe.
taste. But yeah, I quite like the idea.
Yeah.